Welcome to the Journey Up podcast. We believe living a life of authenticity and purposeful connection is the path to healing, transformation, and success. Join us each week as we authentically and unapologetically share the mysteries and challenges in life that make Black women worldwide powerful, resilient, successful, and creative. We'll explore topics such as cultural awareness, spirituality, wellness and healing, relationships, pathways to success, and ways to pursue higher levels of happiness. We won't hold back. So without further ado, let's discover what it means to journey inward, outward, and ultimately upward.
Welcome to the Journey Up podcast. I'm your host, Najee Badu Love, and today we have a topic that I believe is both powerful and relevant to many of us, especially women of color. We're going to talk about self-sabotage and how to overcome it. Self-sabotage, those moments when we often unknowingly put obstacles in our own way. Many of us face it at different points, hindering our growth and success. In today's episode, I'll explore the common forms of self-sabotage, what causes it, and most importantly, how to overcome it. Understanding self-sabotage is crucial. When we know what it is and recognize how it shows up, we can take steps to change our behaviors. This is particularly relevant for women of color, as we often face unique challenges and societal pressures. Breaking free from self-sabotage can be a crucial step toward achieving our dreams and becoming the best versions of ourselves. So, what can you expect from this episode? We'll dive into understanding self-sabotage, learn how to identify the patterns in our lives, and discover strategies to combat it. By the end of the episode, you'll have actionable steps to take and a renewed sense of empowerment. Let's get started. Let's start by defining self-sabotage. It's when we consciously or unconsciously do things that hinder our own success. This can take many forms, from procrastination and negative self-talk to perfectionism and avoidance. But why do we do this? Self-sabotage often stems from deeper issues: fear of failure, fear of success, low self-esteem, or even childhood conditioning can lead us down this path. For example, if we receive messages that we are not good enough growing up, we may engage in self-destructive behaviors in the future. You see, the messages we receive during our formative years can profoundly impact our self-perception and behavior in the future. If someone repeatedly told us that we were not good enough or our efforts were not appreciated, we may develop a negative self-image and internalize these messages as beliefs about ourselves. This can manifest in self-sabotage behaviors later in life, where we may engage in behaviors that limit our potential or undermine our success. For instance, we may procrastinate, avoid challenges, or engage in self-destructive behaviors. It is essential to be aware of these patterns and work on changing them to achieve our goals and live a fulfilling life. I'm about to share a few high-level examples of self-sabotage before I dive into a personal story. Self-sabotage can manifest in many forms and often goes unnoticed until it begins to disrupt our lives significantly. These brief examples illustrate the different ways people undermine their own success, intentionally or unintentionally, and how they manage to break free from these destructive cycles. Procrastination and missed opportunities. A person consistently delays taking action on their goals, resulting in missed opportunities and stagnation. They become aware of their procrastination pattern after losing out on a promotion at work. To change, they create a daily schedule with specific tasks and deadlines, using accountability from a mentor. Once they stop procrastinating, they find career advancement and greater confidence in their work. Negative self-talk and limiting beliefs. Someone constantly tells themselves they're not good enough, leading to low self-esteem and reluctance to pursue their dreams. They realize their harmful thought patterns after noticing they avoid new challenges. they begin a practice of positive affirmations and work with a therapist to address deeper insecurities. When they stop the negative self-talk, they start taking risks, leading to personal growth and new opportunities. Fear of success and self-sabotage in relationships. A person has a pattern of pushing people away just as relationships start to get serious. They become aware of this after a close friend points out the cycle of self-sabotage. To change, they commit to vulnerability and open communication in their relationships. As they stop fearing success and embrace intimacy, they find deeper connections and lasting relationships. Overworking and burnout. An individual constantly overworks, believing that success requires relentless effort, leading to burnout and health issues. They realize their self-sabotage when they are hospitalized for stress-related conditions. To change, they establish work-life balance and set boundaries with their employer. Once they stop overworking, they regain their health and find more fulfillment in their personal life. Avoidance and missed growth opportunities. A person avoids difficult conversations and challenging situations, resulting in missed growth opportunities and unresolved conflicts. They become aware of this pattern after noticing their relationships remain superficial and strained. To change, they practice confronting uncomfortable situations with courage and honesty. As they stop avoiding, their relationships deepen, and they develop greater resilience. Financial self-sabotage and impulse spending. An individual constantly spends impulsively, leading to financial instability and debt. They become aware of their self-sabotage after receiving a collection notice for unpaid bills. To change, they create a budget and seek financial counseling. Once they stop impulse spending, they regain control of their finances and start building savings, leading to greater stability and freedom. Perfectionism and fear of failure. A person strives for perfection in all aspects of life, resulting in chronic stress and fear of failure. They realize their self-sabotage when they notice they rarely complete projects or start new ventures. To change, they embrace the idea that done is better than perfect and allow themselves to make mistakes. As they stop striving for perfection, they complete projects and experience a sense of accomplishment, leading to more creative endeavors. Isolation and loneliness. An individual withdraws from social interactions, believing they are better off alone, leading to loneliness and depression. They become aware of this self-sabotage after noticing they have few close relationships and feel disconnected. To change, they commit to socializing and joining community activities. Once they stop isolating themselves, they find a supportive network of friends and feel more connected and happy. These examples show how self-sabotage can creep into our lives in various ways, from procrastination and avoidance to negative self-talk and overworking. Each person had to confront their patterns and make deliberate changes to move forward. Now, I want to share a personal story where I encountered my own self-sabotaging behaviors and the journey I took to overcome them. To know me is to understand that I'm creative through and through. But what does that really mean? If you've ever heard the saying, "Where attention goes, energy flows," you know that a creative mind can be drawn in many directions. My attention spans many areas: writing, art, production, sports, music, movies, and business. The problem is, it's been hard for me to stick to anything for more than 3 years, except for Journey Up. I've got to be honest. I've started countless projects with all the enthusiasm in the world, but as soon as they began to gain momentum, I'd find reasons to quit. I'd tell myself I was too busy or the project needed improvement. It took me a while, but I eventually realized that something kept me from believing I could handle success and the changes it could bring. This was a turning point for me. Becoming aware of this pattern was the first step to breaking it. Breaking that cycle meant getting to the root cause and figuring out why I kept giving up on things before they had a chance to grow. However, after several years of effort, I'd ended up with a closet full of unfinished projects and spent a ton on workshops, courses, coaching, business books, and personal development programs. The last straw led me to the couch, where I spent a year and a half in therapy to find the answer. It all came down to worthiness. When I was younger, perfectionism and fear of failure seemed like constants in my life. I was raised in a household where success was equated with perfection, but I was also reluctant to outshine my parents or challenge the expectations of those who saw me as different, strange, or even slow. My brain worked differently, and while that made me unique, it also made me self-conscious. I was afraid of presenting anything that wasn't flawless, believing that perfection would protect me from criticism and disapproval. This mindset was suffocating. I found myself dreaming of starting businesses, writing books, creating greeting cards, and even designing apparel lines, but nothing ever seemed good enough to launch full scale. So, if I couldn't reach perfection, I just stopped. The result was a trail of unfinished projects and unlived dreams. I couldn't escape the feeling that if I didn't meet some impossible standard, everyone would see me as a fraud. What I didn't realize at the time was that I was living down to other people's perceptions instead of embracing my own brilliance. I was trapped in a cycle of striving for perfection, hoping it would shield me from negative opinions. The truth, though, is that perfection is unattainable, and the pursuit of it was destroying my creativity and passion. I had to come to terms with the fact that my quest for perfection wasn't about achieving my dreams, it was about proving to others that I was capable. But the more I tried to reach perfection, the further I fell from it. My epiphany came after I watched an interview with a successful entrepreneur who shared a simple but profound insight. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Those words hit me hard, and I realized that I had been focusing on the wrong thing. Instead of worrying about how perfect something was or how perfect people perceived me and what I was doing, I needed to embrace the try, as in the effort and the willingness to just create. I needed to harness, appreciate, and value the journey of creation, even if it meant making mistakes along the way. From that point forward, I changed my approach. I began to celebrate the small successes, the attempts, and the learning experiences, no matter how messy they might be. I stopped worrying about how others would perceive my work and started creating for myself. This shift in mindset was liberating. It allowed me to work on my projects without the weight of perfectionism holding me back. I also stopped putting pressure on myself about how and when things got accomplished. I focused on the process, enjoying the act of creation, and allowing my unique way of thinking to guide me. This approach brought me fulfillment and a sense of joy that I had never experienced before. Now, when I create content, publish a book, or launch a business venture, it's for me, my highest self, and my soul, not for the purpose of gaining someone else's approval. I've come to understand that true success comes from staying aligned with my own values and aspirations, not from meeting someone else's expectations. I embrace my journey, knowing that it's the trying and the learning that matter most. The fear of failure no longer has the same hold on me because I realize that every setback is an opportunity to grow. It's a perspective that has transformed my life, allowing me to pursue my dreams with courage and confidence without needing everything to be perfect. This podcast is part of my healing journey. One thing I don't do anymore is beat myself up for not succeeding in the way I once imagined. Instead, I focus on what's possible, taking one step at a time, with each belief, thought, and intention aligned with the life I want to create. Before we move on, we can all agree that not all of us are aware of the things that hold us back or impede our progress. Not all of us are fortunate enough to recognize our own patterns that hinder growth. However, if you're aware of your tendency to sabotage the things you desire or the relationships you yearn for, I encourage you to start your healing journey. Trust me, you are worth it. Now that we understand self-sabotage, let's look at common signs and patterns. Do you often procrastinate when faced with an overwhelming task? Or maybe you find yourself criticizing your own work, feeling like it's never good enough. These are just a few examples of self-sabotage. To identify self-sabotage in your own life, I encourage you to take a moment to reflect on your behaviors, choices, decisions, relationships, achievements, or lack thereof. Evaluate your confidence level and beliefs about what is possible or what you deserve. What are some of the things you do that hold you back? Are there areas in your life where you're avoiding taking action? Self-awareness is critical to breaking the pattern. To help you with this reflection, I have a simple self-assessment for you. Answer these questions honestly. Do you find it hard to start or finish tasks? Do you often criticize yourself or downplay your achievements? Do you avoid taking risks, even when it could lead to positive outcomes? I will wait while you ponder the answers to these questions. Okay, so let's stop here for a quick break to talk about Journey Up Publishing, a subsidiary of Journey Up Wellness that specializes in publishing books that inspire, awaken, and empower Black women. Be sure to check out our latest books, Let Go of Your Butt, A Woman's Guide to Loving Herself to Full Potential and Possibility, Ascensions, Whispers of the Soul, and The Path and the Power, a soulful exploration of self-love. Don't wait another minute. Be sure to stop by the website journey-up.com to purchase your copies. You'll be glad you did. You might be dealing with self-sabotage if you answered yes to these questions. Don't worry, recognition is the first step toward change. Moving on to strategies for overcoming self-sabotage can be a great idea now. If you want to get past your self-imposed obstacles, you have to set goals that you can actually achieve. You need to break your objectives into smaller, achievable targets to reach them. And it's super important to make sure that the next steps you take are exciting and align with what you're passionate about. That way, if you start doubting yourself or feel like giving up, you'll have something to keep you going. When goals are realistic, staying motivated and avoiding overwhelm is easier. Break your goals into smaller tasks and celebrate each milestone you reach. Mindfulness is another powerful tool. Practicing mindfulness can help you become more aware of your thoughts and actions, allowing you to catch self-sabotage before it takes hold. Challenge negative beliefs and remind yourself of your strengths and achievements. Remember the power of support and accountability. Surround yourself with people who believe in you and can help keep you on track. Friends, mentors, or even a coach can provide encouragement and accountability when you veer off course. Finally, consider incorporating daily practices that promote positivity and resilience. Journaling, meditation, and gratitude exercises can help reinforce positive behaviors and shift your mindset from fixed to growth. These practices also create a sense of calm and focus, allowing you to tackle challenges with a clearer mind. As we wrap up, let's recap the key points we've discussed today. We explored what self-sabotage is, identified common patterns, and learned practical strategies to overcome it. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. We all face self-sabotage at some point, but you can overcome it with awareness and the right tools. Please take the insights from this episode and apply them to your own life. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with someone who might benefit. Also, I'd love to hear your stories or experiences related to self-sabotage. You can share them on social media using the hashtag JourneyUpPodcast or visit the website at journey-up.com. Thank you for listening to the Journey Up podcast. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes that will help you stay on course to being and becoming the highest version of yourself. Until next time, remember to love yourself, be kind, and keep moving forward. Know that you are loved. Remember, your life is evidence of things always working out in your favor. No matter how painful, You are here. Use everything you have been through to create the reality you've always dreamed of. Ashe.
Thank you for joining us for another uplifting episode and supporting the Journey Up platform. A very special thanks to our super producers who make it possible for us to reach you every week. Our deepest hope is to be the fuel that powers your dreams and aspirations as you endeavor the journey inward, outward, and upward. You can find us on Twitter at JourneyUp1, on Instagram at JourneyUpInspiration, on Facebook at JourneyUp1, and on TikTok at JourneyUpInspiration. The Journey Up podcast and its shows are written by Najee Badu Love, produced by Kimberly Banks and Najee Badu Love. Our editors and super producers include Najee Badu Love, Kimberly Banks, and Angela Burris. Music producer Kimberly Banks, and our photographer is Roman Gabriel. Join us every Monday as we provide you with inspirational content, empowering interviews, and more amazing guests who align with our commitment to love, inspire, and encourage Black women around the world.